Good morning, campers. Tempest Wing here, and I know what you're thinking. What happened to that cute otter wearing the headphones? I thought it was going to be like the mascot for the channel. Fear not, the otter will return, but I'm excited to announce that I have made a Twitter account. I think I used to have a personal Twitter account, but now I have one for the YouTube channel to keep my anonymity. Is that a word? Anonymousness? Anonymity? Anyways, to keep my true identity safe, I've created a Twitter handle, which is on the screen right now, and I have 4 tweets right now because I just made it, but I plan to be tweeting out some real shit, about mainly, I guess, about League of Legends and esports, but also other video games I find interesting that I play. So if you like League of Legends, esports, and general video game knowledge, definitely give that a follow. Excuse me, a follow. And we'll see where that goes. Now, to the meat of the video, I made a video about an LCS, and if you didn't think I was qualified to talk shop about NALCS, I'm definitely not qualified to talk about EU LCS, a region I know even less about and watch less of. It is, in fact, not my native region. If you couldn't tell by my accent, I am from the US of A. But I thought I'd take a look, and I really wanted to wait because there are a lot less rumors flying around, and a lot less has been decided in EU. So I didn't want to make, like, some of the speculative lineups, I wasn't really sure if they would actually pan out, whereas NA, pretty much all the rumors have been spot on. So thank you, Jacob Wolf, for leaking that. But yeah, G2 announced their lineup, and I think maybe like Splice, some other people, I don't know. I'm looking at it right now. And the thesis for this one is, wow, Europe looks weak as fuck. I don't know what happened. Obviously they lost, Febivin and Mithy and Sven, and actually they lost pretty much all of G2. And Power of Evil, Ignar, but yeah, I guess that was the main. I guess I just named like a lot of really good players there, but I feel like some of the other teams that had good rosters could have kept them, but they all kind of got like there's been like all these like swaps. It seems like I don't completely understand it. Coming from like a talent pool wise, I feel like the talent is really spread out right now, and there's not a whole lot of like stacked fucking rosters. So let's take it from the top. FC Schalke, and by the top I mean the top of this page, not by the team that I think is going to be the best, because obviously I'm starting with FC Schalke 04, and I think they came up. Oh, they used to be in LCS, went down to Challenger, came back up. I guess EU still has the whole like relegation. Yeah, they're not franchised, so they still have the whole relegation thing. So yeah, this team came in, and I'll go ahead and read out. So they had Smitty J in the top lane. Jungle, they had Memento. Middle, they had K-Drell. AD, Upset, Support, Norse, Garen. This is pretty much a bunch of nobodies. I think Smitty J and Memento were in the LCS at some point. Didn't really do too much there. I've never heard of these other 3 people. K-Drill, Norse, Garen, and Upset. No fucking clue who they are. So I'm guessing they're Challenger players. And then, so basically they got rid of everybody except for Upset, thank God. Maybe this is like Upset from Migos, and, he also plays League of Legends, so we didn't know about it, so that's pretty... Oh, wait, no, that's Offset. Shit, never mind. Alright, forget I said that. Anyways, so now they have Vizichachi, Pride Stalker, Nuke Duck, Upset, and Vander. And wow, that is probably a much better roster than what they used to have. Let's go through it. Vizichachi has been at times accredited to be the best top laner in Europe. I think that's a little bit much to say, but he is a pretty solid top laner nonetheless. That's probably an upgrade from Smitty J. Pride Stalker, who is that? Who is he on? He was on some team. I don't know. Maybe he's all right. Nuke Duck, he's been stuck in mediocrity for a long time. He used to be really, really good in like Season 3, got banned, came back, and hasn't quite been the same since. But he's still pretty solid, so that's an upgrade from whoever the hell they had. And then Vander is their support. Vander's, I honestly don't know how Vander's been doing recently. He and Yankos used to be like the duo. Those two were on the same team for a while, but no longer. But he's probably also I think he's still pretty alright, so it's probably an upgrade from Norse Garen. Not much to say here. This looks like a middle of the pack team, or it could be top of the pack because some of these other teams are pretty what the fuck. Alright, moving on to Fnatic. There has been nothing announced. Oh, except they might be... Alright, so Fnatic had Soaz, Broxa, Caps, Reckless, Jesus. That was a pretty good roster. They made it to Worlds. They ran the gauntlet. Kind of fucked around in playoffs, but nonetheless, if they keep... So the only thing we know is that Reckless is staying and they're replacing Jesus with Helisang. I'm not really... I don't think... Helisang was on Unicorns of Love with Chachi for a while. I'm not sure how much of an upgrade that is. But honestly, if they just keep like all the same people, this could be one of the best teams in Europe just because a lot of the top teams don't look too hot anymore. So yeah, hopefully they just keep everyone because why the fuck wouldn't they? I haven't heard anything about Soaz or Broxa or Caps going to like NA or anything, and if they joined one of these other teams, it would definitely be worse. So unless they're cashing the fuck out, I'm hoping that's going to be the 2018 Fnatic roster, and if it is, that could be like a really good team. Definitely playoffs material. Moving on to G2 Esports. Wow. All right, so this is another interesting one. Everybody left except Perks. Trick went to Korea. Expect went, who knows, who cares. And Svenimithi obviously went to TSM. So Perks is the same guy. And then they're bringing in Wonder Weir in the top lane, or I guess it's just Wonder now. He was the top laner of Splice, and he was sort of like a play... He was probably the best member of that team, if I recall. He was sort of like the playmaking top that they played around. So that's definitely different than Expect. Expect was just like... He was just like a brick in the top lane. He just kind of sat there and did stuff, and yeah. So this could be interesting, having another lane that they could play around, top or mid around Perks. And they're definitely going to be doing some playing around because Yankos is their jungler, and he's probably the best jungler in Europe. Let me look at the junglers real quick. Yeah, I'd say he's the best jungler. Maybe him or Maxlor. I don't know, but Maxlor is still pretty young. But yeah, this Yankos guy is pretty solid, or Gankos, as I like to call him. There's a lot of Ganks. Yeah, that's definitely going to be good if he can be the catalyst that gets Perks or Wonder rolling. I know Trick was sort of like a bitch who is like, you know, he would play shit like Nunu and Ivern. But Yankos plays these like punchy and mean champions like Kha'Zix and I think like Lee Sin, and so he's going to be moving and grooving all over the place, so that could be good. And then their bot lane is Hjarnan and Wadid. And I don't know anything about Wadid, but Hjarnan has always been... I think that those two used to be on... Ooh, don't tell me. I think it's Rockhat they used to be on. Some not good team. But as long as I've seen Hjarnan, he's always been, like, alright. And the only thing I know about Wadid is that he played Lee Sin support and dabbed over everyone. On everyone. So... Yeah, I think the bot lane's weak, but the top side of the map looks good, so maybe they just say, hey, fuck the bot lane. Yankos is going to play around Perks and Wonder. I think that's the formula there. So that's a pretty good team, but like they're not going to be... I don't think they're going to be as dominant as G2 used to be with their old roster. So, all right. And then here we have another come up from Challenger. Giants Gaming. They have no one announced yet for 2018, and I'm not going to even read who used to be on their roster because the only person I've ever heard of is Gilius, and it says here that he's leaving the team, so he's not even sticking around. so I don't know who. Yeah, there's no one to compare him to. So we're gonna gloss over Giants Gaming. Yeah. Moving on to H2K. Pretty solid roster that always did not really. They always fell short in playoffs. It seemed like, and everybody on this team left. So that's interesting. They had Odo Omne, who is a really good like low econ utility top. Probably the best of that style in Europe, maybe. Then we have Yankos, who left, obviously, to go to G2. Febivin went to NA. And then they had Nuclear and... so Febivin... I don't know how I feel about Febivin, honestly. He was really hyped when he was on Fnatic. And then... Or, like, Season 5 Fnatic. And then Season 6 Fnatic kind of sucked. And then you didn't really hear too much about Febivin. So I think he is better than everyone... how do I put this? I think he's not as good as people thought on Season 5 Fnatic, but I think he's still pretty damn good. And he's gone. And then Nuclear and Che were the Korean bot lane. Don't really know what the hell is going on with them. Know absolutely nothing about them. Don't know why they were there. So they apparently they got rid of everyone, and their entire roster has not been announced. But they're getting K Drell, the guy who left Schalke. So he's joining H2K, whoever the fuck that is. And then their AD is Sheriff, like a policeman. No, never heard of him. And then Kasing. Okay, so Kasing is down here for H2K and Splice in turquoise. What the hell does that mean? Roster change, replacement. All right, so he might join H2K. He might join Splice. This is weird. But I'll give you the rundown on Kasing, so I actually know about him. Kasing used to be probably one of the best like playmaking supports in Europe in like Season 5, and then beginning of Season 6. And he's kind of been on the decline. He's been on some low-caliber teams. He's been in Challenger, I think, and now he's back. So H2K is really grasping for straws here at this point. I don't want to say he's washed up. Maybe this will be his killer season, but I mean, he does not have a lot to work with. So this is going to be. I don't know unless they get like I don't know who the hell they'd get. Unless they got like Smeb and Score, I don't know. I don't see this team being any good. All right, let's move on to Misfits, because I feel like this is one of the few ones that actually made sense. All right, so Power of Evil was their mid laner. He was pretty good. He's been pretty solid for a while. Definitely one of the top mids in Europe. Used to be kind of had a wacky play style on Unicorns of Love, but since then he's kind of shaped up. I think he's known for Syndra. And a couple other champions. But yeah, he actually watched him in All-Stars last night get shit on. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, so he went to NA, and Ignar went back to Korea. So what do? They keep the three other people, who are Alfari, Max Floor, and Han Sama. I think this team is like, I think these individual players are kind of like overhyped, in my opinion. I don't know. Han Sama is a rookie who people think is like the second coming of Jesus Christ. Alfari has a really good like win rate in solo queue, so people hype him the fuck up. And then Max Lore is sort of like the catalyst for the team, so maybe he's actually pretty good. I don't know. I got to see this team more. They're obviously so they have a new mid and support, and it's the mid laner and support from Splice. So it's Senkux in the mid lane and Mickey X support. And I think these two players are like pretty all right. So Ignar seemed like the main playmaker for the team, at least from what I saw, so we'll see what the hell Mickey X can do. And this might be a slight downgrade, but as I keep saying, Europe looks pretty weak at the moment. So this still looks like a pretty solid roster. It seems like they realized that two of their players were leaving. They got two players from at least the same team. I'd say a decently respected org. Splice has been pretty solid for the past year or so. But yeah, so good job, Misfit. You did what you could, considering two players left. All right, which brings us to Splice. I think I've actually talked about most of these people. So they lost Wonder, was their top lane. Trashy, their jungler, a.k.a. Cold, as he's now referred to. What do I have to say about Trashy? I'd say he's pretty average to slightly above average. I have very little opinion on him. Senkux. basically, see, this team is like the Justice, like the Wonder, what is it, the Justice League? No, the Wonder Team. It's like the friendship team. It's like it's like all these people are just like all right, and then they come together and are a pretty solid team. So they're more than the sum of their parts, I guess. Yeah, so they had Wonder, Trashy, Senkux, Kabi, Mickey X, and that is exactly how I'm going to gloss over that one. And then now, supposedly, they have Otawabne, which, depending on how you see it, is, yeah, I'd say it's an upgrade from Wonder. I mean, kind of depends, but, I mean, that's pretty solid. Their new jungler is Xerxes from, Unicorns of Love, and I guess Xerxes sounds like a pronoun to me in 2017, but hey, I'm who am I to judge? What can I say about him? I feel like when he first came in, he was popping off on these spicy picks like Warwick and shit, and now he's sort of flamed out. And then Niski is their mid laner. He was a rookie. All right, so he was on Fnatic Academy and then came straight to NA and played on Envious, and he was like pretty good. So I think, you know, him and Senkux probably tit for tat on that one. They still have Kobe, thank God, or Kabe, or however the hell you say that. Definitely have a lot to say about him. And then they also, you know, might allegedly get Kasing. And I already talked about him. So, what do I think about this team? It's weird because they have Otawamne, but you don't always want to play around Otawamne. So maybe they play around mid. I don't know. We'll have to see how their bot lane is, and it does depend on if they actually get Kasing or, you know, whoever they get. But this team is definitely worse, in my opinion, just because you're breaking up a known chemistry and you're kind of throwing. This almost feels like a lot of sort of like used parts, or like, yeah, used parts got thrown together and it's all kind of random. I don't know. So that, yeah, that team will probably be all right. I'm not going to do like a rankings or anything because a lot of this is undecided, but maybe like low playoffs. Gosh, who even makes playoffs in this fucking league? Yeah, they probably make playoffs now that I'm looking at it. Let's see. G2, H3, Misfits, yeah, they probably make playoffs. I don't even know who the hell makes playoffs in this fucking region anymore. All right, moving on to Roccat. Wow, I don't even want to like run through who they used to have because I have like very little to say. But here's who they have now. Prophet, he's Korean. He's been in Europe for a year now, I think, or part of a year. But he used to be the top laner sub for SKT, who they used like once or twice instead of whoever the hell they used to have. Memento is their jungler. I literally have no idea who. Yeah, I don't even know who any of these people are. Memento, Blank, Hiku, Norse Garen. I really hope that. Let me just open this up. Let me just make sure I'm not full of shit. I don't think any of these players, except for Prophet and Memento, have even played in the LCS before. Blank used to play on Janier Green Wings. You know, this would be a helpful thing to do if I don't know anything about people. I should just open the tabs. Yeah, Blank. Yeah, so he's Korean. So they have two Koreans, top and mid. Oh, Norse Garen. Yeah, he came straight out of Challenger. His name came up earlier. Hiku. Oh, Hiku was on Ninjas in Pajamas, so he has been in the LCS, but barely because that team was terrible. And now that I think about it, so was Prophet, right? Yep. And Memento used to be on Roccat Giants, and now he's on Schalke. So he has run the gauntlet of teams with blue logos that are usually bottom of the LCS. So he's right on track there. All right, this is pretty brutal. I'm ripping up EU right now, but honestly, these lineups do not look good. Team Vitality. We have no idea who the hell is going to be on that team. They were the forever 7th team. I have things to say about some of these players, so I'll jump right into it. Cabochard used to be their top laner. He is a carry top. Used to be considered one of the best in Europe and has been on this fucking Vitality team for like 2 years and generally accomplishing nothing. So we'll see if he sticks around. I don't know if he really has a spot anywhere else except maybe Fnatic and maybe Giants. Oh, and maybe H2K. Those are the only teams that don't have top laners at the moment, that are at least rumored to have. Their jungle is Djoko. No idea who that is. They used to have Nuke Duck as mid. I already covered him. Their AD was Steelback. All right, Steelback is an interesting. I think Steelback is a very interesting player. So Steelback used to be on that, like, really. All right, so Season 5 Fnatic Spring, not the undefeated team of this summer, but Spring. He was on that one, and he got benched for Reckless. So people gave him a lot of shit then. And actually, wait, was it people gave him shit or people overhyped him? I don't even remember what people thought of him. But basically, he was just they just grabbed him to be on that team like everyone else on that team, and he got booted out for Reckless. Was Reckless better? Yes. Then he went to a bunch of random teams, and I think he's like pretty all right now. I think he's improved. I remember there was one split where he like led the LCS in like kills or something, which, you know, that's not everything, but as an AD carry, that's your fucking job. So yeah, I think he's pretty respectable at this point, but he's stuck on this stupid Vitality team, so who knows. And then Vander, who I already talked about, and we have no idea who's going to be on their lineup in 2018. It would be interesting if they keep the same people. Oh, they can't because they lost Nuke Duck and Vander. Okay. Yeah, this team is probably fucked because I don't know who they even get at this point. I'd say all of the good-ish players that I can think of are accounted for. So, yeah. Well, hey, this league is so bad, they'll probably still be around 7th, so, hey. And then Unicorns of Love. Okay, so they used to have... Alright, luckily I think I've talked about everybody. Oh, no, I haven't. Okay, so they used to have Vizicachi, who went to Schalke. They had Xerxe, who went to Splice. Their mid, who they kept. I feel like they kept the two worst people. Okay, they kept Exile, who is their mid laner, who is just not good. He's not a very good player. And they kept him, thank God. So, yeah, kept him. And Samux is their AD carry. Literally, no idea what he's about. And then Hilasang was their support, who allegedly is going to Fnatic. Sort of already talked about him, kind of a playmaker, middle of the pack support. So, and now they have everyone confirmed except for their new support. And this is where it gets interesting. So I'd say definitely a downgrade in the top lane. They got White Knight, who, if I recall, is just like a solo queue player who is usually top of the ladder, but kind of like off rules and just plays a lot of everything. So they threw him into top. I want to say I saw him in the LCS a while. You know what? I'm just going to click on it because that's what I've been doing, and that's been working out. Yeah, okay, yeah, he kind of plays a lot of everything. Okay, he played AD for a team in, like, Season 3, so, yeah, he has not been in the LCS in a while. So as far as experience goes, I say this is a definite downgrade from Vizicachi. But then, Unicorns of Love gets Cold, a.k.a. Trashy, which I would say is somewhat of an upgrade from Xerxe. So, tit for tat there. And then they kept Exile, they kept Samux, and we don't know who their support is. And I just ran through all the rosters. That was it. Wasn't that fun? Yeah, I guess, unfortunately, there's still some... I don't think there's going to be enough breaking news for me to make another video once all the rosters are completely fleshed out. I feel like that would be a tad gratuitous, and it would look and appear like I was just fishing for views. Which I am, but, you know, I'm not trying that hard to fish for extra views. So I'm not going to make another video on the EU LCS unless something absolutely nuts happens. If you've made it to this point, thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, and leave a comment if you have anything to say, positive or negative, or you just want to talk about the rosters, because there were a few comments on the NA video, and there's some people had some good things to say, and I like reading, seeing people's opinions, especially if they don't. I like opinions. Believe it or not, I like opinions that about League that don't always align with my own. So, all right, that's it for this video. Tempest out.